Hi friends, welcome to today's video. Sorry I didn't post the last 2 weeks. If you've been paying attention to the news, you know that America's been a little hectic recently. So I was kind of out there in the world in Chicago, where there's a lot of partying and celebrations in the streets. And I was out there kind of pushing for the idea of every vote being counted and having a smooth transition, which we were still working on today. But I digress. Today's video is definitely not about the election. We're going to be focusing on how you can have a COVID-friendly Thanksgiving. Today's tips and ideas are low or medium risk according to the CDC guidelines, but always make sure you check out your local and state laws to see what is in effect in your location. I am in a metropolis area, Chicago, so our rules are a lot stricter than what it might be in Midwest. So always check out what it is in your area and follow the best procedures that are available at the time. We're all worried that the holidays are going to look a lot different this year, and they probably will. Unfortunately, due to the fact that COVID is on its second rounds, if you're in America, it kind of never really left. It's a very serious issue and something you don't want your friends and family at risk for. So one of the first ideas is to keep your family gatherings smaller. Obviously, that means kind of keeping together the family that's inside the home, whatever that family is to you. Usually, if you're living with somebody, the potential of the risk of disease is already there, unfortunately. So it's kind of safer as opposed to like gathering with family that may not live with you in the area, or maybe coming from a city location or an area that's more at risk. So try to keep your family gatherings intimate, but no less special. Definitely, if your normal gatherings are you going out of your way to do crafts, having a huge meal, or especially decorating inside and outside the home, make sure you keep doing that. Just because you're doing it with your intermediate family doesn't mean it should be any less special. As I said at the beginning of this video, always check with your city and state guidelines and regulations to keep you and your family safe. My next idea, if you do choose to bring in some guests from outside the home, is to have a backyard picnic style Thanksgiving. We're so used to the Thanksgivings inside our kitchen or dining room where the air is more contained. As we all know, social distancing is one of the biggest guidelines when it comes to COVID-19. So if you can have a backyard picnic where everyone can spread out, or even a barbecue of sorts, if the weather is appropriate, of course, you can have a more safer event for you and your loved ones. In America, we are used to a buffet or family style setting when it comes to Thanksgiving, but consider actually doing single plate meals this year. Food that can be put on a plate so you're not passing around dishes or silverware, things that can expose you to potential germs. If you do choose to go the route of having buffet or family style, make sure you have some hand sanitizer. Make sure your family members wash their hands before eating and try your hardest not to touch your face. But I would personally say the single meal setting is probably your best option with keeping everybody safe this season. At this point, no one is a stranger to Zoom or Skype meetings when it comes to work or their friends or meeting up with family members. So you can also utilize this when it comes to the holidays. Unfortunately, obviously, it doesn't give you that touching and holding and special feeling like actually seeing somebody in person does. But remember, it does keep each of you safer. And at the end of the day, you want that more than anything else. Meet with somebody, possibly those family members you usually invite to your Thanksgiving, and each of you prepare a meal that's very similar. Even activities, maybe crafts for the kids, and you can do them over Skype, where each of you can kind of watch one another. You can actually be there with one another, almost like you are right in front of each other, even if you are a long distance apart. Consider the family members that can't come to your Thanksgiving this year, or especially the family members that are alone. Maybe you have a mother or aunt in a nursing home who can't have family members visit them. It's one of the most gut-wrenching parts of this in my experience. Thankfully, I don't have anyone in assisted living or in a situation where I can't visit them. It's especially hard for those who have dementia dementia, who don't understand why you can't be there. But if that's the case, or even if you have family members who are not in assisted living, but they just live down the road and you can't see them this season, consider making something like a pie or some special dish that they're used to having and deliver it to them. In the case of a nursing home, you may have one of the nurses prepare the meal and bring it inside to them. Of course, that's up to what the nursing home will allow you to do, so always check in advance before going that route and being disappointed. But that's always a great way to spread around the Thanksgiving cheer or the coming Christmas cheer if that is something you want to do. Having holiday food delivered or picked up has been a staple of those who don't like to cook, but this year it could also be something special for all of us. Save yourself some time in meal prep. Consider actually ordering food from a local establishment. A lot of the restaurants in our area, special locally owned businesses, are being hit really hard during this pandemic since people can't order food and there's no inside dining in a lot of locations. Consider ordering something, even if it's just a pie or dessert, to help those local restaurants in need. Usually these people, and especially in smaller towns, are people you know, are family members whose families you can help. Even in the situations of bigger chains, while it may not always seem the best that will help local family members, because we think of these multi-dollar conglomerates, and that's very true, but do consider the fact that a lot of these places do hire local people that you know, friends and family. So even helping their businesses stay afloat in the local community can provide jobs for those who need them. Something I hear over and over again during this pandemic is people always saying, oh, it's fine, they're family, or it's no big deal, we're friends, we know them. But that doesn't mean you're any less susceptible to the disease. That disease, COVID-19, doesn't care if you're friends or family. They don't care if you know that person. Unfortunately, that person you love is just as much a threat as a complete stranger down the road. So always practice safe guidelines. Make sure everything is sanitized and clean before and after your meal. As a closing note, I just want to remind everyone, this holiday will look very different. And one of the things that's hitting our hearts big time is the fact that we're losing a lot of family traditions. But try not to look at it that way. Yes, unfortunately, a lot of the things we've done in the past we may not be able to do this year. But we are doing it for the greater good. To keep ourselves, our children, our parents, our family and friends safe. And our community at large. And this is an ample opportunity if anything good comes out of this whole pandemic situation. It's this human creativity. This is your chance to start new traditions that can be passed on for generations to come. Use this chance to be creative, to grow, to change, to develop, and create a whole new holiday for yourself. You're going to love it, I promise. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.